Brother Mustafa, who will be presenting on Black people before slavery.
Big move. Movie. Musti.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is the messenger. I'd like to greet you all in the ring words of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir.
I just want to say that this is a very big topic, just for the simple fact that many of the youth, primarily Black youth, are not being taught this in public schools. Next slide. What my presentation will include. Today I'll be talking about ancient Kemet, their significance, how they relate to Black people, and their contributions to the world. And I'll also be talking about the Olmec heads, how they relate to Black people, and why the Olmec heads are significant. Ancient Kemet or Egypt. Ancient Kemet was the greatest civilization known to mankind. It lasted up to 3,000 years and had 30 to 45 dynasties. The first pharaoh of ancient Kemet was Menes, whenever he united Upper and Lower Kemet into one in 3150 BC. Next slide. How does this relate to Black people? The inhabitants of ancient Kemet were Black, contrary to popular belief. The notion was changed, though, by modern media and movies. And also, the original name of ancient Kemet or Egypt was, where the meaning of Kemet was Black divinity.
Wow.
Now, how do we know these people were Black? Just like any other civilization, you can tell how they identified themselves by the artifacts they left behind. But you can tell these people were Black by their distinct facial features on their paintings, drawings, and artifacts, melanin content tests, their unity with the rest of Africa, and the meaning of Kemet. Self-description. A major part of how we know people from later or older civilizations were, or how they describe themselves, is by the stuff that they left behind. So, for example, like Rome or Greece, they left behind many statues and artifacts and paintings. Ancient Egypt did the same thing. In their artifacts, we have very broad noses, lips, and eyes. Those facial features only resemble to the Black race. Melanin content. Melanin is the pigment that gives the color to the natural people of Africa. A test was done by IFA in the Kar Synagogue on the mummies, and it showed that the mummies had melanin concentration that only leads to the Black race. Why is it important? Egypt is important because it showed it destroyed the fact that white people always thought that Africans were just savages in the jungles of Africa. That's completely false. It also shows how advanced we were and how advanced we were at that time period.
That's right.
And ancient Egypt also gave 5 contributions to the world today, such as irrigation and agriculture, literature, math and geometry, medical science, and architecture and art.
That's right.
The Olmec heads. The Olmec heads are colossal heads found in Mexico. The heads date back to 12,000 BC, and the heads were created by the Olmec civilization. The Olmec people were the first civilization of Mesoamerica and had built cities which inspired other civilizations. Now, how are these significant to Black people? Just like Rome, Greece, or Egypt, they left behind an artifact, but one of the biggest artifacts and one of the heaviest ones. The biggest Olmec head that we found is 10 feet tall, and as you can see, this one has a broad nose, big eyes, and large lips as well. All of those things resemble to a Black person. What is the general significance of the Olmec heads? The Olmec heads were found in the Americas, proving that Africans were in America long before slavery and Christopher Columbus.
Come on, Mo, that's
And it
right.
also shows that we've had greater civilizations in other parts of the world. It wouldn't be no point in calling the Black man or woman the god of the earth if we were just in Africa.